Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about the Royal Peach Palette by Kylie Cosmetics. Also, I want to apologize in advance that my camera keeps on zooming in and zooming out. I'm still trying to figure out how to work my camera, so I'm really sorry about that because I know it can be distracting. But yes, I'm going to be talking about this Royal Peach Palette. I was really excited to get this palette, being that I do like Kylie Cosmetics, and I have a few of her lip products, and I don't have any of her other palettes because the first palette she came out with was the bronze palette. I felt like I had no need for it because I had the Morphe 35O palette, and then she came out with the burgundy palette, which I thought was actually very nice. But I had the Anastasia Renaissance palette, so I was just like, okay, I really don't have a need for that. But then she came out with this palette, and girl, do I tell you, I was like, I really want this palette. Like, it's speaking to my soul. So this palette retailed for $45. It has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It has 12 shades, and it comes with a brush, and it has a mirror on the inside. So, I originally was going to do an eye makeup look with this palette, being that I was excited to get it, and I really didn't want to do a review. But once I got the palette and started working with it and examining it more, I was just like, girl, I don't even want to do an eye look with this anymore. Like, I just need to do a review. But basically, this is how the palette looks. It looks really pretty. It has the Kylie logo on the top. And this is how it looks on the inside. As you see, I did my eye makeup look with this kit. And the kit honestly really does look nice. They really do look nice. Like, it's not an ugly kit. Like, the colors are nice. Like, they speak to me. They're different. They're pretty. And I don't have the Too Faced Peach palette, but that's the main reason of why I wanted to get this, because I don't have the Too Faced Peach palette. I know she got a lot of flack saying that, oh, basically this packaging is like copying off of Huda Beauty, and the theme for the peaches copying Too Faced, and it's just like, okay, nothing in makeup is new, nothing in makeup is unique. Like, how many new palettes are you gonna have? Like, every company has one, so it's just like, if you say so. But so, I don't know. What I'm going to start with the palette is, I'm going to start with the first thing. What's the first thing you do when you get a palette? You open the palette. So, when I opened the palette, I had a smell to it. So, I'm just like, Mom, smell this palette. I'm like, is it just me, or does this palette really smell? And then she was like, yeah, it smells like chemicals. So, it's like, I just keep on smelling the palette to see what it smells like. And in my opinion, I can honestly say, it smells like oil-based paint, like mixed with a magic marker. Like, that's what this palette smelled like soon as you open it. I honestly don't feel like it's the eyeshadows that smelled like that. I feel like it's the packaging or something with this brush that smells like this, because when I came to smelling the palette, when I was like, where it smelled the strongest at was in this little socket where the brush holds. So that's what I figured, that's where the smell was coming from. Also, what I think the smell is I think these were, of course, they were mass produced and they were fast made, like they made them fast. But I think it's the glue that they used in this pack, in this palette, because I feel like they glued it down, and then they just basically like closed it, they sealed it, and like they just didn't wait for it to dry, so it still had that smell since it like never got to air out. And also, I feel like they never let it dry, because one of my main problems is that my eyeshadows in the pans move, and I feel like my eyeshadow shouldn't be moving in the pan, especially if it's brand new and it's $45. Like, $45. It shouldn't be moving for $45. Like, if you look at this, like, I know this pan moved. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they moved. A few of them moved. Majority of them moved. Oh, I don't care if I even mix it, but yeah, majority of them moved. So that was an issue for me, because I'm just like, why are they moving when I just got the palette? And also, another thing, the way how I got rid of the smell to this palette, because I see people saying that it smells, but I see no one giving solutions of how to get rid of the smell. I honestly, I got this palette on Friday. I got it on the first launch. I let it sit out this past Monday, and now I'm recording on a Thursday. So I let this palette sit out and open for 4 days for the smell to finally just disappear. But now my palette doesn't have a smell. But if you do have a palette and you do want to use it, I would say just let it air out if the smell really does bother you. Sometimes people are not sensitive to smells, but I just wanted my palette to air out. I don't want my palette smelling like markers and paint. But another thing about this palette, there's a brush. This brush, I really do not like this brush. The reason being, I don't know if it's just my skin is being sensitive, but I tried to use it today. As you can see, it has eyeshadow on it, and it's shedding. First off, it's shedding, and then it felt really prickly when I was like doing crease work in my eye. So it was like really itchy. I tried to like just get through it, but I was just like, oh no, my eyes is really sensitive. So I just had to like put it down and use like my normal brushes. But I really wanted to like this brush because I love adding new brushes into my collection. But just this brush for me, it really just didn't work out, and I'm sad to say that. But yeah, it just was scratchy. It was irritating my skin. So it was just like I would have no use for it. Another thing about this palette is it doesn't have it has nice colors, but what typical people look for in a palette is a palette that they could like where you could do mini eye looks from. Like you have your crease colors, you have your highlighting colors, you have your inner corner highlight colors. It's not enough darker colors to create depth in your crease. So that was another problem that I had, and another problem that I struggled with. I think I did achieve that with my eye look today, but aside from that, it was really hard for me to get this look. Even for my inner corner highlight, I had to use champagne pop because I was using that to highlight my face today. I just used that for my inner eye highlight. But they need more crease colors and they need more highlighting colors for your brow and your inner eye if you want to highlight your inner eye. I think that's what's missing from this palette. So I wouldn't say, if you like, I wouldn't travel with this palette. There is not enough of range in this palette for me to travel with, because when I think of a palette I'm going to travel with, I want to be able to have every color that I'm looking for all in one palette without having to dip and dab in other palettes. And another thing of what I really feel away about is that I seen one review on this, and this is from Jeffree Star. He got the palette the day before the first release, and he made it seem like these shadows were so pigmented and so nice, and this palette was so bomb. Girl, these things are not pigmented. They are so powdery, in my opinion, and so chalky. You can work with anything, bad, good makeup. You can work with anything, but I feel like for $45, I shouldn't be working with it. It should be working with me. Like, I shouldn't be having to do all of that. Okay, sorry, I just had to take a moment. But I don't know how Kylie was swatching these things, but her hands, her arms must have been wet. She must have like divulged her arm in some Fix Plus or whatever. But these aren't pigmented at all, and I can't even say the Fix Plus because for my lid, I used the shade Mojito, and I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus. Mind you, I soaked this brush in Fix Plus, and I was just dabbing, trying to pack on my lid shade, just dab, dab, dab. And as you see, I really took a dig in this just to get it as pigmented as it looks. Like I really digged in this just to get it as pigmented. So even with MAC Fix It, like with the Fix It Plus or wetting your brush or whatever way you're going to use it, you still need to sit there and work with this. I primed my eyes, I based my eyes with concealer and everything, and I still had to work with this palette. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. This color is going to be, I'm going to live swatch a few colors. This color is Peachy. I'm going to finger swatch it and brush swatch it. So that's peachy. And with the brush, like basically nothing. If you could really see, it's powdery. Like when I just doing this I said foundation. This eyeshadow is so powdery to me. I don't know, but you really have to work with it and really build it up to get it to where you want it to be. And like I said, for 45 Zolas, I shouldn't be having to work with this palette. This palette should be working with me. So, I did use a few colors today. I used the color, on my eyelid, I used the color, I'm lying, I didn't use sorbet. I used the color, I'm sorry guys, I used the color peachy. I tried royal for my lower lash line to smoke out because I just wanted to use it, but I didn't get to use that. So I used peachy inside my crease as in my transition shade. I use cinnamon, which is right here. I use cinnamon as another crease shade to like create more depth. I used sandy. I didn't like this color. I like started to put it inside like my inner crease, but I really didn't like it, so I dropped it. And I used Mojito, which was the prettiest color to me in this whole kit. I used Mojito for my all over lid shade, and then I used Queen Bee, which is right here, as a under eyebrow, highlight. I used 7, or I played with 7 out of the 12 shades, so I think I got a pretty good consensus of how I really feel about this palette. In my opinion on if I feel like this palette was a hit or a miss, and honestly, I feel like this palette was a miss. I know I don't have the Too Faced Peach palette, but I don't know. Look up by the reviews, people make it seem like it's heaven. I don't know, but I would just say go get that. Save yourself $45. I honestly don't know how much the Too Faced Peach palette is. Of course, I'ma still use this palette because money was already spent on it. But to save some of you guys out there, I would not personally rebuy this palette. And this makes me very, very nervous to buy other palettes from her because I've seen her Valentine's Day collection on Snapchat and I really, really like it. But I don't know, because the way how these shadows are, they not all that. But so guys, that concludes my little review on this palette. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see an eye tutorial look on this makeup look that I have right here, or just any eye tutorial makeup look for that matter, just let me know. Like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.